The first segment is about 8 minutes long, Your Honor.
Before playing that, the license plate, did it say, was it black and white? You recall? If you recall.
It was either black or dark blue, white, something along that line.
And it said diplomat across the top.
Correct.
And then at some point at the lower, maybe left, right-hand corner, talked about it being non-expiring or something along those lines.
Yes.
Oh, joy. Oh,
May I, Your Honor?
yes, you may.
Thank you so much.
Where is your driver's license? No, it's not matter what the capacity or a violation speed. Here's your driver's license. Okay. Where's your driver's license? Yes, you do. You don't need traffic stop. By law, you have to identify yourself. Yes, sir. Is on a traffic stop. You are in violation of the law. I stopped you. I'm conducting an investigation of the violation. You must identify yourself. According to Michigan law. So you said violation. Law. It's not commercial. It doesn't matter if you're going to get ice cream at McDonald's. I can stop you for speeding. Where is your driver's license? Okay, where is your driver's license? Yes, you do. Where's your driver's license? I'm calling my supervisor. I'm not having a supervisor down here. They're a long ways away. We're not going to sit here and wait for a supervisor. So. I understand that. If you cooperate with me, I need your identification. We can get you out of here. Yes, I do. Oh, and you are required to identify yourself to a police officer. I'm not trying. It does not matter what capacity you're traveling in. It does not matter what capacity you're traveling in. What about the plate? What are the plates supposed to be? I know nothing about that plate being. What does that mean? That means nothing to me. Who are you? Trooper Chief, which is great police. I work with the brand code, my back number is 1245. Now, if you don't identify yourself, you will identify yourself. Yes, sir. From a radar though? Yes, sir. It's mounted in my vehicle, according to everybody. You know that state troopers, police officers all around the world, to seek to engage them because they're fighting these guns. Okay, well, I have experienced that, so I feel for those state troopers. Identify yourself. What's your name? You don't want to leave yourself. What is your name? You don't have a reason to ask. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am here on the side of the road with you. You need to identify yourself. Yes, you did. That is why I'm stopping you. Why did you roll the police officer? For what reasoning? What reason do I have to call my supervisor? Because you don't want to listen to me? If you are not obeying the law? So, you are not identifying yourself. You identify What are the dog tags? Let me see the dog tags. That's open view. I'm not doing it. Copy now. Identification now. You step on the page. Yes, you have. That's why I can stop you. Okay. Do you want to say it? You are escalating the situation. You need to identify yourself to me. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. You will step out of this meeting. You will identify yourself. I ask you to cooperate with that next meeting. You back on the road. It's true routine. I accept that. Management is 12:45. Why am I calling my supervisor? I'm not going to tell him. Let's have you call him right now. You're not going to tell my supervisor. See my kidding. 90 miles an hour on the freeway where it's marked 70. You I don't know who you are. You are. You will identify yourself to me. Identify yourself. Take your name. What's your name? Do not.
And Your Honor, skipping ahead to about the 33-minute mark, close as I can get it.
All right.
What's up? What's going on? Okay, the criminal? Okay, I'm not worried about that because I'm acting with the law right now. People are not acting with the law. I'm giving you one more chance to step out of the car on your own. You don't get one right now. You don't get one right now. You'll get one before you see a judge. Yes, you will get one before you see a judge. You have the right to remain silent if that's what you would like before we're talking until you can talk to a lawyer. No, not right now. Step out of the car. That was your last chance. Hey, all right. Put your phone down. Step out of the car. Try to fix your vehicle.
Were you able to eventually ascertain the identity of the driver or the defendant?
I was.
And did you check him in lien?
I did.
What did you discover?
He does not have a valid driver's license in the state of Michigan.
Did he have any warrants at the time that you pulled him over?
He did.
Pause right here. This is the moment where everything crystallizes. The trooper repeatedly commands, "Identify yourself." Under Michigan law, and in most states, during a lawful traffic stop, a driver is required to provide identification. This isn't optional. It's not philosophical. It's not about traveling versus driving. The law treats a vehicle on a public highway as regulated activity. Notice what's happening. The trooper keeps his tone measured. He doesn't smash the window. He doesn't escalate immediately. He gives chance after chance. And legally speaking, that matters. Because in a resisting or obstructing charge, prosecutors must show that the officer was performing lawful duties and that the defendant knowingly interfered. Now ask yourself, if you genuinely believed you didn't have to identify yourself, would you risk a felony over it? Or at some point, do you comply and fight it later in court?
To correct myself, he didn't have a valid driver's license at all that I saw right.
Not at all. Okay, thank you. After you arrested the defendant, what happened next?
I asked him if he had any reason that he needed to go to the hospital for. He advised that he had rapid heartbeat.
Did you go to the hospital?
We went to Chelsea Hospital.
The Trinity Health in Chelsea? Is that right? Or Chelsea Hospital?
Just Chelsea Hospital.
Okay. And after, was he cleared by medical staff and taken to the jail?
After receiving medical assistance at Chelsea Hospital, we went to Washington County Jail.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Just so that I'm clear, he told you he had rapid heartbeat. You took him to the hospital, he refused medical treatment.
Correct.
And then you, okay, all right.
I'll pass the witness.
Cross-examination.
Your Honor, before I begin, may I very briefly confer with opposing counsel?
Okay.
Good afternoon, Trooper. My name is Alex Warren Green. I represent Mr. Magoo in this matter. So, Trooper, this was on July 3rd of this year, right?
Correct.
Day before Independence Day, right?
Correct.
Tons of cars on the road. And this was on I-94 in Scio, right?
Yes.
And that is a 70-mile-an-hour limited access highway or freeway, right?
Yes.
And in your experience as a state trooper, you know that conducting traffic stops on the freeway is dangerous, right?
Yes.
There's high speeds, distracted driving, right? There's large commercial vehicles like tractor trailers, and like you already said, lots of traffic, right?
Yes.
And another reason that it's dangerous is because there's limited space on the shoulder to conduct the traffic stop, right?
Correct.
Trooper, on your direct examination, we saw video from your body worn camera. In addition to the body worn camera, you have a dashboard mounted camera, right?
Yes.
And the dashboard mounted camera activates when you activate the overhead lights, right?
Correct.
And when you activate it, it captures 30 seconds back in time, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Your Honor, I believe this is by stipulation. I would ask to play a portion of the trooper's dash camera. I'd move to admit it.
It's defense A.
This would be defense A, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Trooper, I paused at exactly 30 seconds. This is when you activated your overhead lights, correct?
It should be very close.
Okay.
Yes.
Pausing the video at 1 minute and 18 seconds. Trooper, you'd agree with me that both you and Mr. Magoo are in a stationary position at this time, right?
Correct.
And Your Honor, I'm going to take down the exhibit at this point. Position, he never put the vehicle back into motion, did he?
No,
Well, at least for the duration of the traffic stop, he didn't put it back into motion, did he?
no, he did not.
And the patrol vehicle you have, it has a mounted radar system, right? That's mounted on your dashboard.
Yes,
And that radar system, you can obtain a printed document that tells you the readout obtained at a particular time. Is that right?
I'm not aware if I'm able to do that. I've never been taught how to do that or seen any of that.
So from your mounted radar, you have never obtained a printed document suitable for court. Is that your testimony?
Yes,
So
I'm not aware if it is possible or not. I just have never done it and do not know how to.
understood. Thank you, Trooper. You followed Mr. Magoo's vehicle for a period of time before activating your lights, right?
Yes,
And once you did activate your lights, he did in fact decelerate, right?
yes,
And shortly after that, he moved over to the shoulder of the road, right?
yes,
And then you following Mr. Magoo went over an overpass, right?
yes,
And that overpass has metal barriers on either side of it, right?
yes,
And after you get to the end of the overpass bridge, that's when he brought the car to a stop, very shortly after you got to the other side of the bridge, right?
I wouldn't necessarily agree.
Well, Trooper, you'd agree with me that the entire time after you turned your lights on, following Mr. Magoo was under a minute, right?
Yes. With my lights on, following behind it, yes.
And on something like an overpass, there's even less space to conduct your traffic stop, right?
Typically, yes.
Because of the metal barriers, if something were to happen, you can't just jump into the ditch or the grass, right?
Yes.
So after you're stationary, Mr. Magoo's stationary, you walk up to the window, right?
Yes.
And you two have a discussion, right?
Yes.
And Mr. Magoo didn't hit the gas pedal, did he?
No.
He didn't open the door and start running down the freeway, did he?
No.
He didn't take a swing on you or any other officers that responded, did he?
No.
He didn't reach for anything on your utility belt, right? Your Honor, if I may have one moment. Thank you. Trooper, the reason for this traffic stop wasn't because of a license plate, was it?
Not at the time.
And the reason for initiating the traffic stop wasn't because of an invalid or expired license, was it? It was for speed, right?
Yes.
So at the time you initiated this traffic stop, you hadn't witnessed any crime occur in your presence. Would you agree with me?
Other than a speed violation, I did not.
Thank you for answering my questions, Your Honor. I have nothing further at this time.
Any redirect?
Trooper Cheney, if you recall, what did the defendant tell you he was doing when he was driving on the shoulder and not pulling over and stopping for you?
He advised he was emailing his summons for a trial that he has against prosecutors and magistrates in Washington.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Your Honor, very briefly on that.
Yeah, go ahead. That opened up a whole bunch of stuff. Go on.
Thank you, Your Honor. Trooper, on behalf of Mr. Magoo, after you saw this plate, you didn't call the embassy, did you? You didn't call the Department of Transportation, did you?
No.
All right. Your Honor, I have nothing further at this time.
No redirect, thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Trooper, you may step down. Thank you, sir.
No objection.
It's witnesses.
Your Honor, at this time, we will move to add count 6, assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer for Trooper Colin. And I have no addition, contrary to 75081T1, I have no additional witnesses at this time.
The defense calls no witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. And response to their motion to bind over.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense would object to bind over in this particular case. Your Honor, the court has seen the video. We are asking the court to consider the evidence here. Our position is that it is insufficient even at a probable cause standard. The video, the dash camera specifically showed that after the troopers' overhead lights went on, Mr. Magoo did make an effort to decelerate. He moved over. After they went across the overpass bridge, he did bring his car to a stop. Your Honor, he didn't need to be physically extracted from that vehicle. He did get out. He got arrested without incident. For the record, Your Honor, we would be objecting to bind over.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I do believe we have laid more than sufficient evidence to sustain both felony counts that have been presented today. Furthermore, Your Honor, the people will note the extreme restraint that the trooper showed while dealing with the defendant and not escalating the situation, continuing to try to resolve it as peacefully as possible. I think the court saw in People's 1, the 33 mark where the court could clearly see Lieutenant Kratzenberg, and there were 2 other officers from Chelsea PD as well as an additional trooper who had all come to the scene to help. I do believe we have presented sufficient evidence for at least what we have. And I do think there's an argument that there's more than one resisting and obstructing based on what's been presented today for the 2 different interactions that were shown. But I've added the 1. I have nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
Court, after hearing the testimony in the case, would agree with the people that there's sufficient evidence to show that the defendant committed the offense of fleeing and eluding 4th degree. And I think it should be clear that the driver's obligation is to hold their vehicle over when those overheads go on behind them. He did not really do that. Prior to getting what's left out of the defendant's argument is he's traveling quite a ways prior to him even getting to that overpass. There are other places, if the argument's being made, that he couldn't have safely pulled over. When you truly look at it, there are other places that he could have pulled over, could have done so safely. And anybody that's seen a vehicle pulled over, yes, the trooper actually, or the officers actually put themselves and their vehicle more at risk because of the way that they line their vehicle up when pulling a vehicle over. So that vehicle could have stopped well before, quite frankly, the overpass and well before the time that it did. So I don't find that argument very persuasive. And would indicate that the people have sustained a burden regarding the 4th degree fleeing and eluding. Also, just noted, the trooper, his voice is telling him, and it was in People's Exhibit 1, he's sure he knows that Mr. Magoo can't hear him, or whoever's in that vehicle can't hear him, but he is saying, pull over. He's trying to implore that vehicle to pull over. So the court will bind the defendant over on count 1. With reference to the added count 6, the resisting and obstructing, I think it goes without being said that the restraint that this trooper showed was amazing. Probably one of the reasons I'm not a police officer. I don't think I could have shown that much restraint. on the side of that road, that it seemed like forever before that door opened. The officer, the trooper, would certainly been well within his rights to have acted, opened that door at some point in time. What was actually phenomenal is that he did not do that, that he left. He was not looking to indeed escalate it anymore. And it was just amazing to me. And only when it came down to the point that something indeed had to be done did the trooper take action. Quite frankly, that behavior is, well, I've always told people around the country, with all due respect to other state troopers and all of the places I've been, I think Michigan has the best. So, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. What he did was just amazing, because a lot of people, as the defense was pointing out, in a holiday time of travel, a lot of people were put in jeopardy, not by what the trooper did in pulling the vehicle over, not by the manner in which he pulled it over, but by, quite frankly, Mr. Magoo's obstinance in not answering the trooper and not complying with the order of the trooper. There are probably, and I think the people are right, that there's probably more than one resisting and obstructing here. Since the people aren't asking, I won't add an additional or 2 counts, or at least, of resisting and obstructing. I will only add 1 of resisting and obstructing as an added count 6. So defendant, so the record is clear, is bound over to stand trial on counts 1 and 6, those being felony, with counts 2, 3. Yes, it's 2, 3, and 4 and 5 following as misdemeanors.
Your Honor, with respect to the Circuit Court of Raymond, we acknowledge receipt of the information, waive its reading, and stand mute.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea as to all 6 counts. Pre-trial in this matter will be
October 9th at 1:30 with Judge Slay.
October 9th, 2025, 1:30. Judge Slay.
Your Honor, I can have an amended information over by about noon tomorrow, adding that count 6. And of course, we don't have one prepared right now.
That's fine. You
Thank you.
can put that up there. Bond will continue.
Anything else, Brian?
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And there it is, the bind-over decision. The court finds sufficient probable cause for 4th-degree fleeing and eluding and adds a count of resisting and obstructing. The judge emphasizes something critical. Not just the delay in stopping, but the totality of behavior. The prolonged refusal, the failure to comply, the risk created on a busy Independence Day weekend. What's especially powerful is the judge's commentary on restraint. He openly acknowledges that the trooper could have escalated sooner, but didn't. That observation clearly influenced the court's view of credibility and reasonableness. Now remember, this is only the probable cause stage. The standard is low. The prosecution doesn't have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt yet. Just that a crime likely occurred and the defendant likely committed it. Trial is where the real battle begins. So what's your verdict? Was this a constitutional stand or a textbook case of obstruction? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.